I'm José Galeano.
I'm Greg Gonzalez from Grupo Fantasma at the Belmont here in Austin, Texas.
And we're happy to be here, man.
Esa negra, a ver, a bailar.
Grupo Fantasma was formed in the year 2000, near the end of the year, in the fall. We were formed out of two different bands, the Blue Noise Band and the Blimp Trio. Over the years, we've added many talented members, including José Galeano here, who's been a member since, I guess, like the fourth or fifth show. And it's been 13 years since then, and we've won Grammys, we've toured nationally and internationally in Canada, whatever that counts as. We've released 5 albums. We've done everything ourselves for the most part, and we have another album in the works right now.
Yo sé lo que quieres. A ti te gusta el sol, te encanta el sacude, te mueves así y te mueves así y con mucho control. Y luego el dip, agua, que se quema, agua.
Basically, Blue Noise Band was a jazz rock kind of freak out experimental band, and the Blimp Trio was more of a funk fusion kind of band. And we were both playing in Austin around the same time on 6th Street and in small clubs regionally. And we would get together and play at these college parties, mainly at like co-ops and, you know, houses of college students and whatnot. And we would all form together, the Blue Noise Band bringing their horns and their jazziness, and us bringing the funkiness. And we'd have these big jams. Our band was called the Young Silly. You might have to beep this out, bitch. The Young Silly shit. And it was a great success at all these co-ops and stuff. So we thought, you know, let's try and bring it to the clubs. But we didn't really have any material to speak of. And around that same time, we were also getting into Cumbia music heavily. Several of the original members were from Laredo, Texas, where Cumbia is very popular. And we saw that there was nobody here in town doing it, aside from like Tejano music and stuff like that. Nobody was really playing the Colombian style cumbias that we found inspirational. We didn't really know much about Latin music at the time, but we were just inspired. We felt the music and we wanted to interpret it our own ways. So we took the same basic format of band that we had from the Young Silly shit, with a couple horns and a couple guitars, drum set, bass, and we started playing these cumbia songs in kind of a really strange setup with 2 drum sets and 2 electric guitars and bass, you know, which was way different from the originals recordings, which would be with like an orchestra and a piano player and percussion. Along the way, we met José Galeano, who's much more well-versed than we are in the Latin styles, and he introduced us to some more of the percussive elements and the tradition of the music, as well as bringing his own talents as a songwriter and lyricist, and that really helped us develop what for us was like a raw sound that was cumbia inspired with funk and rock elements, and he gave it some more of the credibility and the true Latinness that only a Nicaraguan could bring to the table.
Mulato en la cama, oye mulato, mulato nocturna. Hey you mulato, mulato en la cama, oye mulato, mulato nocturna. ¿Dónde vas buscando un placero?
We worked with Prince, with Sheila E., with Larry Harlow of the Fania All-Stars, as well as Ruben Ramos, a Texas great Tejano artist. We've had a lot of special guests on our albums, including Maceo Parker, Kurt Cookwood of the Meat Puppets, among others. And it just comes I think Prince was really what started it all. A previous manager of ours had an in with Prince. He was leasing a club in Las Vegas at the time called 3121 in anticipation of the release of his album 3121. And he wanted a band to play on Thursday nights. He wanted a Latin band because they had like a Thursday night Latin band that had played there for 10 years. But he wanted something fresh and new. So he basically had his manager reach out. His manager knew our manager. Our manager gave him our live album. And at some point, Prince listened to it and was like, this is the band I want. And we got the call, I think, the day before Thanksgiving. I was packing to go visit my family. And our manager called, and I just remember he was like, prepare to have your mind blown. And I was like, what's going on? He was like,
your plans.
Yeah, he's like, drop your plans. We need to go to Las Vegas tomorrow to play at Prince's club. So, it wasn't that difficult telling my parents I was going to miss Thanksgiving, honestly. They were like, Prince? Really? The Prince. And since then, we've won a Grammy. We've been nominated another time. Beyond that, we've won a gang of Austin Music Awards and been inducted to the Hall of Fame. Sometimes it feels like that, but and I guess just through our reputation and our relentless touring and our songwriting, we've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great people. Some on records, some at live shows, some as songwriters. We did some songs with Chicago. We worked some Chicago material from the band Chicago, and also with Earth, Wind and Fire, as also Daniel Johnston. We did a song with him as well, and a few other people that I'm probably forgetting.
Everybody give it up for Speedy Gonzalez on the trombone.
Man, I think it's our personalities, man. I think that we get along pretty well for the most part, But I think that at the end of the day, we always think that everybody's on the same page. We're trying to accomplish and same goals, Do we want to get better? Yes, we want to get better. So we're trying to make a better product and move on to the next level and keep ourselves challenged that way, But yeah, I think that everybody in this band thinks pretty much the same, This is where we want to get to. And we know what we need to do in order to get there. So, it's just hard work and connecting with one another and musically, we have to see the same thing and go get it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we know that we can do it. We know that we can bring a good product to the table, and so we get excited every time we have a new album, new CD, so we always get motivated that way to keep going forward, man, and keep making better and better music.
Ella es muy fina y delicada, pero algo muy oscuro trae en sí.
What we have is another album that's finished currently. We're shopping it around to some record labels. It was supposed to be out this year, but our record label, Nat Geo, folded. It's a long story, but essentially it set us back a little bit. The album is done. It's all new music that we're playing tonight, that we've been playing on our touring throughout this summer, and it was produced by Steve Berlin of Los Lobos. It sounds fantastic. Hopefully we can get it out before the end of the year. At this point, we're also working on getting a concert film put out around the same time, and a few other things that I can't really give away yet, but we'll be playing at some big festivals with some special guests coming up soon. We'll be putting out some new material, and just stay tuned.
Oye, mamita, ponemos duro, ya pero que baila mamá. Aléjate morena, bella como una sirena. Mira, menina, sonríe. ya tú verás.
We're Grupo Fantasma, and you're watching Blastro 2.
Para todos los bailadores de Austin, Texas, baby.